Welcome to my I Tune My Computer series. I've just got a couple little free utilities that you can use to help you check out your computer. It's from I think they're both from a bunch called CPUID, so they give them away, so I don't mind giving them a free plug. Alright, so I've got this rather old computer. It's about 6 years old now, and I'm going to do some very cheap tuning on it. I have every intention of buying a new system, probably in a few months' time. New gaming systems these days, you know, you're looking at a 4 or 8 gigabyte graphics card. You're looking at probably DDR4 memory. You know, even the i9 Intel i9 chipsets and stuff like that are coming out. If you're an Intel fan, don't ask me about AMD, because I know nothing about them, because I've never used them before. But I got nothing against AMD. So where was I going to start? Yeah, all right. I have to make this disclaimer up front. I'm not a technician of any sort. I'm only recording my own experiences in doing this tuning. So it's really just playing around with computers. Really just a hobby of mine. I will be editing this one because I continually show my desktop. I might give some information away, like my MAC address or something like that, which would probably not be wise. But then again, who cares? Alrighty, so how am I going to go about tuning an old system? I bought the system for about 2013. Got it for about $1,000. I just got the supplier to assemble it for me. I picked the parts, and then a year or two later, I started playing computer games again and discovered that the graphics card that was on the Intel the motherboard was not really up to it, and I was playing games at 10 and 15 frames per second, which is almost like playing with a slideshow. So I just went out and got a $200 NVIDIA card, just 2 gigabytes, and that was good enough for the next couple of years. I guess once you throw all the other bits and pieces I got together, like keyboard and screen, things that I already had lying around, a couple of little speakers, little amplifier, modem. I guess you could say it was a $1,500 system all up. Probably not even that much, to be quite honest. About $1,300 or $1,400 system. So I'm going to have to, everything's moved on, so obviously my new system's going to be much better. Alright, so the first thing I do is run a benchmark, and I use this group here to do it. Again, there's others around. I'm not saying these are better than anybody else, just the one that I want to use. The other thing is you want to try to keep your results consistent. So pick a benchmark that you like and stick with it and document it. From a performance analysis point of view, if you make any changes to your system, you really want to actually have data to show that it actually did change your system. Hopefully made it better, not worse. So you need numbers. So you need a bit of data, and this is just a very easy way of doing it. So what you do, you just go for your free download here, and it will download a little program for you. That's okay. Just probably when you're running your bench test, you probably want to close Google, because Google is a bit of a hog sometimes. I'll go to my download folder. I remember where I've left that. Downloads. Where have I put my downloads? Oh, there it is. Oh, that was boring. That's a bit odd. It must be under users. Yes? No? Yes, there you go. Everybody knows who I am, so I don't care. If they can see my initials, they can see my initials. I will be editing it anyway. So you've downloaded something. Run your virus scanner over it just to be on the safe side. I always do. Okay, so we've got just checking, got everything else. Probably want to shut these things down too. I only put them there because I didn't want a static screen while I was talking. That's kind of boring, and I'm really not going to show my face, so I don't want to do that. I can't be bothered. Right, so you run this little utility. It makes some noises, and you just run it. And it just goes through a suite of tasks and just measures how long they take to run. All very simple. Well, not simple, but all straightforward, I should say. That's the right word to use. You might hear your fans coming on and off a little bit as it loads up the system. You can probably hear the fans of my because I've already taken the case off. I just wanted to check the memory that I had already installed there. Okay, just runs a dicky little graphic simulation to. Obviously, it's only a small screen because it would have been a full size screen probably when they first wrote the benchmark. But obviously, everyone's got bigger displays now. So don't touch anything, just let it do its job. The less other extraneous things you've got running, the better your data is going to be. But you know, it's yeah, no, always do that. I don't know how much it's going to affect it. So don't do it while you're playing games and stuff like that. That's what I'm talking about. But getting a good, I'll repeat it, but getting a good benchmark is critical to tuning, in my opinion. Alrighty, so verdict time. Okay, lots and lots of ads, of course, but that's how they pay for their service. Alright. Overall, this PC is performing as expected in the 41st percentile. Okay, 59 performed better, and so yeah, that's kind of, I'm in the bottom 50 basically, bottom 50%. So you can say straight away that it's performing below average. So obviously they're trying to compare like with like, so you can argue how successfully they're doing that, and that's fine. I won't argue with their analysis. I'm not even qualified to do that, to be quite honest, but I know what it means, so I can talk about that. So similar gaming PCs, I'm down in the bottom 25%, so that's a very ordinary result. And they go and cheekily call it surfboard. Desktops, I'm doing roughly average. Workstations, again, I'm getting down into the bottom third, so you'd say that's pretty average. Okay, so overall, that's the result there. I'll let you read that. Your processor. Okay. Oh, it says. Oh, yeah. Okay, 63% is sort of their ranking, but this is actually ranking against other real people, because every time somebody, I believe what happens is every time you run this benchmark, it actually records your data for statistical purposes, I hope, and puts that in a database, so you're actually comparing it with other people who are also running this similar benchmarking program. That's another reason why to do it. Try to stick with one and just get consistent results. Because depending on the assumptions that they make about the profile and that, you're going to get different results. So it's just you can't avoid that. Graphics, yeah, that's what's slowing this PC down. Is it's saying I've got an average graphics card, and they're using a GTX 1070 as a 100% benchmark. Oh, that's interesting, isn't it? GTX 1070. Okay, what does a GTX 1070 give you? GTX 1070. Is that for a 4 gigabyte card or an 8 gigabyte card? Was it a 10i? There it is there. Okay, see what it says. 1070. It's going to tell us about it. There was some blurb. Here it is. The blah 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 blah. Lots of marketing terms that don't mean anything. Oh, it's just a title they give you something. 8 gigabytes. Yeah, well that's what you want, eh? These days. Yeah, my graphics card's 2 gigabytes, and a lot of games are kind of designed more or less around 4 gigabytes. But yeah, I think the world's moving on. You probably do want to get an 8 gigabyte card these days. Anyway, that's something for you to decide. I can't really recommend one way or the other, but I can give you an opinion. So what else we got? Boot drive, which is I bought two drives, and the solid state drive I made my boot drive. No, it's a small one. I don't like the term boot drive. I just call it a system drive. But 85, so I'm right up there. So it's still a fairly good SSD. That one. It's quite fast. It's saying I got enough memory. It's not saying anything about the memory at all, really. But we'll have a look at that. And Windows 10 is up to date. Yeah, that's what you expect. All right, some numbers. This is what we want. Okay, i5. Yeah, a little below average. See, this is the spread of results that they've been collecting. So it's what they call a you can call it a normal curve, although it may not be exactly a normal curve, but it's close enough. You can call it a normal curve. If you want to know how that's important to statistical theory, go and look it up on Wikipedia. I ain't going to explain it to you. But I'll tell you what it is. There's a big spread there too. If you look at it, quite a lot of spread. Yeah, there could be any number of reasons for that. Okay, the graphics card. Yeah, you can see there's not much spread there though, isn't it? Probably because there's less. There's so many different cards. There's less processors around, perhaps. Yeah, you can see straight away the graphics card is the weak point in this system. All right, there's the SSD, and why it's saying it's below expectations. That's got to be an error. I mean, I don't know what that means, because it It wasn't. It's up here. 35 would be down here somewhere. So I don't know why it's saying that. And saying it's excellent here. So yeah, I'll just accept that. That's good. Very poor. Excellent. Good. My magnetic hard drive, that's about average. But you know, it's $100 drive. Actually, is it only 1 terabyte? I thought I had 2 terabytes. Huh. Okay. Maybe I do only have 1 terabyte. I just can't remember. Yeah, it's a $50 drive these days. you try to get 2 terabytes. Now this might be the interesting thing, relevant to my tuning anyway. Okay, it's saying my memory is below average. I got Corsair, which is a reputable brand. I got Value Select, this is their cheapest memory, and it's DDR3. Well, that's because it's a 6-year-old computer. Everyone's moved on to DDR4s and so on these days, and one free. It's be about, I think that's about 1.333 megacycles. I think that's what that means, but it's just a number, right? It's basically, this is entry level memory, so you can see straight away I've got a bit of a problem with my memory, and you can see where the bench is way down here. And this is an interesting little thing. Performing below 23rd percentile, ensure that a dual channel XMP BIOS profile is enabled. Well, the reason why I can't enable XMP is because the entry level memory does not support it. So you can see straight away that I've got a bit of a memory issue in this system. And I'll just take it from the top. You're not likely to change your processor. I wouldn't. I'd go and buy a new system and go and buy a new motherboard first. You can go out and buy a new graphics card, and if you're a gamer or do things like, you know, video editing and that will make a big difference. So that's something you can do, is just go out and buy a new graphics card. Although I'm not gonna bother for an old system, because everything else I could go out and get a great card, and then everything else in the system will just hold it back. So it's better to buy a new system. But after 6 years, yeah, you know, time to move on. But I would almost say, an opinion, mind, if you're a gamer, you got a certain budget, pick the graphic card you want to use, and then design your system around the graphic card. Honestly, it's the biggest determinant excuse me, in how fast a graphics intensive computer game will run, meaning the magical frames per second. And I've seen enough Linus tech tips videos and that to see that pretty much that is the measure of how good your system is. Not always, but most of the time. So in my opinion, pick the graphics card you want to use, and then design the rest of your system around it. Alright. But like I said, I'm not going to buy a new graphics card because it's not worth it. That's okay. So that bit's fine. I don't have any. It's only 120 gig, which is only just big enough to be a C drive. It would be better to install my games on an SSD, but I don't have enough room, so I've been installing them on this one. But it doesn't really so much affect how fast a game runs. It just affects how fast your load screens are, usually. So And I did actually try that out once. I moved some files from here to here, and the load screens, they loaded in about 15% of the time. So yeah. So obviously next system, get a much bigger SSD, and that's where you install the games. So I've got most of my games installed here on this average drive, which I could upgrade, but I'm not going to. I won't bother. Again, may as well just save the money for my new computer. So what am I left with? The memory. Yes. Well, I've almost got the cheapest Corsair memory you can have in the thing, and it's the slowest Corsair memory as well. It's below average, so I am going to. Plus, I've only got 8 gigabytes, and if you run, say, an average sort of open world game and your Chrome browser at the same time, you've almost run out of. You will on occasion exceed 8 gigabytes, and you'll have stuff being paged out to your swap file. You want to avoid that as much as you possibly can. So I can do two things here. I'm going to buy another 8 gigabyte. Actually, I have to buy. I've already used up the 2 slots in the machine. Even says only 2 or 4 slots used. I'm not. Okay, maybe that's what the operating system thinks, but physically I've only got 2 slots, and they've both got 4 each in them, so they're all used. So I can't just buy another 8 gig. I have to buy 16 gig, and it'll be in another 2 sticks. And you should probably, you shouldn't mix. Anyway, it's not even an option. I don't even have an option to mix sticks together. So I've got to throw 8 gigabyte away and buy 16 gigabytes of memory. Anyway, I'll come back to that in a second. Now, the other important thing is this. Take a copy of your results. My word. So all I do is I just cut and paste, and I think yeah, there is. Hopefully that's it. Yeah. I just keep a record. Reverse chronological order. So you put the latest one at the top. You can see I've already been running some trial benchmarks there, and I'll show you something interesting in a second. The benchmarks vary. They'll vary. Actually, I should put a always date everything too. Otherwise you'll never bloody remember after a couple of years. Now this is good data. You want to keep it because you can use it going forward. Okay, I've already done one today, so I'll just call that one B. So pretty much summarizes what we've just said. I've got an Intel Core i5-4670K. So apparently even the i5s came in 2 different varieties. I didn't even know that. So it's giving me a mediocre gamer score, average desktop, and a moderately mediocre workstation score. And the i5 processor, yeah, that's even a little bit average. I think I know why too. Graphics card, if they're comparing them all to the NVIDIA 1070, it's not surprising that come out looking pretty ordinary there. Compared with I think most gamers have got something a bit better than a 750 Ti these days. So that's a 2012 graphics card. Which on most games I can't even run Ultra on because it doesn't have enough memory to load up all the textures and things, and the memory. And this the Gigabyte motherboard, it was not a brilliant motherboard, but it was okay. I got it because it was actually the durable technology, and it other than the weird software that seems to come with Gigabyte sometimes, it's operated flawlessly. So no complaints there. $1,000 system, even back in 2013, I built it to a cost, obviously. If I wanted a super gamer machine, I should have gone at least an i7 and a faster motherboard and blah 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 blah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you can see that these results do vary, but not by much. If they do vary a lot, it means something's gone wrong. Something's gone wrong. So if you're really finicky, run it 5 times and average the results. But personally, I wouldn't bother because they're not that accurate anyway. There's too many. When I say accurate, I don't mean they're sloppy. It's just there's too many other variables that going on that you don't know about. So I don't mean any disrespect to anybody, and I don't mean any disrespect to the user benchmark people. But you can see there is one standout here. So we got 57, 58, 58, 40, 40. So you can see something has happened. Okay, what happened? I discovered my memory somehow was already overclocked. Even though I had the 1333 speed memory, it was already clocked up to 1600. So I thought, well, okay, I've got to start off with a stable benchmark, so I'll drop it back down to 133 and look at the difference in score. I dropped down about 18 percentage points in the score. So there you go. It just shows you how you can untune a computer quite easily if you make a mistake. Although I didn't make a mistake, but if you did make a mistake, something changes, and you can't think of the reason why. It means something's happened. Anyway, that's about it for that. So yeah, I recorded that and put a date on it. Yep. So I'll be using this in future videos to track my progress. Alrighty. So I've already gone ahead and ordered my new memory sticks online. So I've ordered 16 gigabyte of memory. And I'm sticking with Corsair because I like Corsair. I'm not giving anyone a free plug. I'm just using what I want to use. So I'm getting the Vengeance sticks instead of the Value Select. One reason for that is the Vengeance and so on have actually have built-in. People used to call them heat sinks, but now the term seems to be heat spreaders. So everyone calls them heat spreaders now. I got no idea. Back in the olden days we used to call them heat sinks, but I guess they're right. Sink is probably not a good word. And also instead of the 1333, I'm getting it's 1600, and it also supports an Intel protocol. Overclocking protocol called XMP. Now the value select, that was what that strange message meant on the user benchmark website. It's some sort of overclocking profile. I don't know anything about it. I just know that I've ordered some memory that supports it. So I've basically gone up basically one step, and I think that's good enough for a system that I'm probably going to replace in financial quarter or whatever, anyway, depending on my expense, how my expenses go. And 16 gigabyte of memory goes through 130 Australian dollars. So I just ordered that online. I was too lazy to walk up to the computer shop and I'd have to go back into the central business district, and I was too lazy to even do that. So you'll have to pay your $15 postage, and hopefully they'll put it in a nice big padded envelope, because packages can get knocked around a bit. So I've ordered it from a place that I won't give, because they're an Australian company. I won't say who they are. But even though I'm saying something good about them. I don't mind about international companies so much, but Australian companies, that's a little bit different because I'm an Australian. But I've already ordered stuff through them before, and I know that they're reliable, and they pack, they put in enough packing that things aren't going to get banged around. Even something like memory sticks. So you know, if you ever get a computer shipped, especially in a tower configuration, they basically have to put packing. They should really be taking the side panels off and putting packaging on the inside. Now I've only ever bought one computer assembled online, and because it was a kind of almost like a mini micro chassis. It didn't really matter. I can't recall there probably was packaging on the inside, but the bigger ones, if you have your cooling fan or your graphics card come loose and then bang around inside, it could do a lot of damage. And who wants? I'm sure they'd be good and somebody would cover the shipping damage, but who wants? It's heartbreaking. You know, you got your new toy and yeah, it's all broken. You know, it'll be a couple of weeks of hassle to get it all sorted out. So you know, company that takes a bit of care in their shipping is good. There was one other thing. I'm just trying to remember what it was I was going to do now. Oh yeah, I've got a couple of other benchmarks to do. I've documented the bench. I've shown you how to document benchmarks. Another one I wanted to do, more relevant to how am I going to do this? I think I just run it because I'm running it. Like I'm doing a lot of this cold, you know. I could have practiced it all and then shown everyone a flawless result, but computer games have inbuilt benchmarkers, so I've decided that it's an interesting exercise to run. I'll run a couple of those as well and get their results, even if I might have to just write the figures down if they don't let me cut and paste the figures into my document. See how long this is taking to boot up. Oh, there we go. Oh yeah, I hope this wasn't a mistake. It might have there might have been some patching going on. Yeah, but you can get to see what games I play. I don't care. Just shoes and things. Oh, it's updating Uplay first. Oh God, what a surprise! Yeah, must sort out the marketing to the captive audience first, eh? Oh, I want to get a benchmark from this game because Far Cry 5 has got an okay benchmarker, and it's a pretty benchmarker too. It's interesting to watch it, so it'll look good on the video. But you know, the more data you get, the better. Oh God. No, skip it. I don't want to type in a password. I have to edit it out if I do. Blah 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 blah. Achievements? What achievements? I killed all the bad guys. I guess I won. Oh bloody hell. Right, okay. Let's get around actually loading the game. Be really good. Anytime now. Good. This is why you want to put it on a solid state drive. It speeds all this malarkey up a very significant amount. Right. Okay. Okay. It's switched on and off my video card again, probably because it's going to full screen mode. I hope it doesn't glitch the recording. Oh, whatever's happening, I'm seeing about 30 frames per second. I don't know if you can see that number or even see the cursor that I'm moving around there. Warning about if you feel funny while playing computer games, perhaps you should talk to somebody about it. I do actually get motion sickness, but I don't think that's important enough to tell anybody about. But if I had memory loss or started having a fit, then I'd be worried. Some more advertisements you've got to sit through. Sit through this advertisement. Well, it's very pretty, don't you think? Oh, I've got to turn it down a bit, it's a bit loud. The Junior engine. Okay, so far so good. Nothing silly's happening. Oh, it's still using that old name. Okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah, whatever. I've moved on from that player ID. Alright, okay. So what you want to do is just go to options. Go to benchmark. There you go. Simple. More loading. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if the 16 gig of memory will speed any of this up. It just might. But we're going to find out. We're going to find out. I've used binoculars about twice in this game. Maybe I just used to use the scope on the gun instead. Actually, no, I tell a lie. No, I do use the binoculars in this game. Sorry, it's Fallout that I've hardly ever used binoculars. Sorry, my bad. Any time now. You can see why I want a new computer. Alrighty. It's a good statistic. They're doing the right thing, giving you a min, max, and an average. You can see my graphics settings are pretty ordinary. Look at that water. You can do much better with water than that. And there's jaggies all over the place. I've got to feel it's maybe a medium setting I'm using, just to get enough to get it up to 30 frames per second, which is only just barely playable in these action games. I'm hoping I'll get all this up to 60 when I buy my new system. Okay, now it does. My God, look at the results. Yeah, it's even saying that it's not fitting all the stuff into my memory. It's a bit low, my VRAM as they call it. I think what I'll just do here is just instead of hang on. Now I'll write the numbers down first, because I just don't want to go and have to figure out how I'm going to cut and paste from here. I probably can't. I'll just say what's it? Just scribble them down on my A4 notepad that I always have next to my desk. So we got min 27, average 31, and max 37. And importantly, it gives you a number, one bulk number there, which is quite interesting. The frames rendered, that's how many frames it actually, I figure that means how many frames it actually showed you during the whole benchmark. And it gets, that's one good bulk number there. If that number goes up, obviously you're doing the right thing. So just put frames rendered. rendered. Okay, 1814. Alright, we've got our Far Cry 5 benchmark. Yeah, so I'm just using what is a pretty standard for games these days. Yeah, graphic quality got to set to low. There you go. Just to speed it all up a bit. And I got a pretty old monitor too, so it's only 60. Has a refresh cycle of 60 hertz. I just oh, okay. Oh, there you go. It's storing it in your document. Oh, there you go. It's in your documents. My games. All right. I'll check it out later. But that's it. Actually saved the information for you. How nice of it. So, and put a timestamp on it. Very good. Very good. 10 out of 10 for the programmers. Doing all the right things. Not just overriding the same results every time, so then you lose all your other results. So it's putting a date on it, so each result won't get erased. Well, I hope it won't get erased. So you can then go back to old results to compare changes. So we've got 20. Just check my results: 27, 31, 37. Yeah. It's not displaying my previous for some reason, but let's not worry about it. It tells me what core I've got, what processor, card, GPU driver version. Oh yeah, okay, and RAM, and 2GB graphics card. Alrighty. So back to game. Escape. I'll do one more. Oh, did that say something went wrong? I missed it. I'll have to go back and have a look at my own stuff. Yeah, quit the desktop. So you can see why I'm doing all this stuff at the end, because most people would have just given up and stopped watching the video by now. What's all this garbage? I'm not interested, whatever it was. Let's just shut that one down. Oh, actually, I left my browser up too. Damn, that was stupid. I should have shut it down first. Anyway, not to worry. I'm not going to do it again. And the other one I wanted to run, if I can remember, because I've got two versions of this software. You can see why I'm doing all this at the end, because most people only the diehards would be with me by now. What is it stored under? I can't even remember. Oh, there we go. Rockstar Games. I'll just go to the won't go to the online. I'll just go to the standalone game. I'll probably end up on a landing screen. But Grand Theft Auto 5 has also got a benchmarker. I can't remember if it gives out any results or not, but let's just give it a shot anyway. Alright, there's my YouTube account. This may be pretty painful. I don't know what Grand Theft Auto does when it loads up, but it is very CPU intensive. I reckon it's calculating some 3D graphics magic. Well, it's calculating some maps or something, and it seems to do it every ruddy time you start the game up. So I thought it was loading in the assets files into memory that was a problem, but I ran an analyzer on it and discovered it was actually the CPU on my machine that is causing all these load screens to be slow. So why it's using so much CPU, it must be doing some magic behind the scenes. Maybe it's even digital rights management, protections, anti-piracy stuff or something like that. Maybe they're that paranoid that they go and scan everything to make sure you're not modding the game or something, or stealing it or whatever. Don't know. I'm just speculating. I'm just talking over these boring screens. Basically. There you go. We'll just go into story mode. Actually, I should have checked. I might have had it. No, it's got to load in first. Yeah. Then you get an option screen. Then you can run the benchmarker. Yeah. Yeah. So the old Grand Theft Auto 5 still going strong after all these years. Still as bad as it ever was. It's kind of I find it fun in small doses. I kind of play it for a couple of weeks and then suddenly get sick of all the rubbish that goes on and go off and do something else, like make one of these videos. Gee, I wonder if I should put this in a supplemental. YouTube, you want to, people see a longish video, they're less likely to even click on it. They click on shorter ones. It's just one of those things. And I think that's what YouTube encourages, because they want everyone to produce stuff, short things quickly, because they sell the same amount you think about it, they sell the same amount of advertising usually per video, no matter how long it is. they show the ads up front, so they get their money, they're happy. You have the surfers who only watch the videos for 30 seconds or something, but they've already watched the ads, so YouTube gets their cut. Yeah, it's a funny old world. So yeah, if it looks like the video is going to be too long, I'll do an episode, and then a day or so later I'll release a kind of a supplement to it, and put the these boring bits and with me talking about nothing in particular in the supplements. I'll run out of my glass of water too. Anyway, I've ordered that memory, so it'll take 3 or 4 days, I guess. Okay, I figured out where Grand Theft Auto 5 hides its benchmarking. Apparently, I couldn't see the benchmarking the first time I tried it because I landed on a new game, because that was my second account, and I haven't even played through the story yet. You have to, before you can run the benchmark, you have to actually play through some of the game first, which if you think about it is absolutely bizarre, because you might want to run the benchmark as the first thing before you even play the game, because you're checking out the settings on your graphics card. So that is a very, very strange design decision for them to make. Maybe something forced them to do it that way, but gee, I mean, better to have the option and then tell people that they can't run it yet than just not show it at all. Because there's no way you'd know unless somebody told you that it exists. Okay, you go to graphics, and there it is there. Don't know if you can see my cursor or not, but it's a tab key. So just hit the tab key and wait for it all to load up again. Okay. I tried to run this earlier, and I tried to shut Steam down, but it played hardball and went and tried to shut the game down as well. So I haven't seen that before. Normally I always shut Steam down, because when you're running benchmarks, you want to get everything else off the system. So I didn't even want Steam to be there, and I shut Steam down and then went and shut the game down. So I thought that's kind of rude. Yeah, even the Rockstar launcher isn't that ruddy fascist. Alrighty. I'm I'm seeing all these numbers now, but I'm hoping I'll actually get a record afterwards. Otherwise, it's kind of a little pointless. I mean, I can't write down all those numbers, can I? Oh, maybe they're worried about revealing too much of the game. That's why they won't let you run it. Maybe that's why they did it, because they didn't want to do spoilers. Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. I'm only speculating, by the way. Don't take me too seriously. It's a pretty game, though. I love it. It's just in awe of what they've done. And it's, it's dated quite well. Some of the other games look shabby. Even some of the recent games look shabby in comparison. You can see my settings aren't very high. Obviously, I ran it like this just so I could get some good response time, reduce my lagging. Okay, we're doing a chase. Da-da-da-da. Got some jaggies there. Yeah, so I'll have to keep all my game settings the same. Oh, well, that was a bit dodgy. Well, I guess even if I can't write down any numbers, at least I've got a video record. I guess I could do a side-by-side comparison. Not fun to edit, but okay for me to watch, I guess. But still, I always prefer a page of numbers. Ooh, that front wheel looked dodgy. I hate the police in this game. Don't get me started. Excitable bunch, aren't they? This isn't going to end well. Oh! Pretty amusing. And that's it. Write that down. Find. Oh, and it's loading in again. Anyway, find that out. Find out where the results went. Find out where the GTA 5 benchmark results went, if they went at all. I was going to run 3D Mark, but it just takes forever. So anyway, I wanted to do something a little bit different. Everyone does 3D Mark. It just takes so long to run. It is a good. Don't get me wrong, it's a good benchmark, especially if you're interested in graphics. But it just takes too long to run, so that's why I didn't use it. Okay, I found out where the Grand Theft Auto 5 benchmarks went. They're in your documents folder under Rockstar Games, and they're quite nicely time-stamped as well. So my hat's off to the developers for doing that. For some strange reason, I had two sets of results, so I decided to run them again. And then I discovered the animation wasn't exactly the same as the previous animation, so oh well. We've got a little bit of slop in the results there. Let's have a quick look, and they're quite good. They're better than good, actually. So we've got yeah, I'll stick with just frames. I just want to keep it simple, so I'll just stick with frames per second. So we've got our min, max, and average. So we hit okay. It basically did 5 starts at 0 programmers for you, right? They did 5 runs, basically 5 different benchmarks. So anyway, I think we can work with those figures. I don't want to make it too complicated. Time in milliseconds, I don't even know what that means. I'm not even going to bother to work out. Once you get into statistics, you end up spending more time in your statistics than you do in your tuning. Anyway, we'll stick with frames per second because that's what I'll get out of Far Cry 5 as well. It's got min, max, and average, so they're all coming from roughly the same school there. Min, so we just work with the average. It's pity that we don't seem to have a. There might be a bulk figure. I'll look down. They even give you a curve as well, like a normal curve. Starts at 50. Alright, it's only giving you the part of the curve that it considers relevant. Fair enough. The distribution, you'd call that. It's not a histogram, but I guess a histogram is a type of distribution as well. And under 4 gives you 60 frames per second, 30 frames per second. Under 16. Right. That's going to be less than 16 milliseconds, obviously. Yeah. Well, you've probably load this stuff into a spreadsheet. You get some really useful information, and it gives you a record of all your settings. So, but you've got to know what all these settings mean, of course. But so that's why a lot of people just use like NVIDIA presets or something like that. Just take their word for it. Comes a bit of an art. Tuning comes a bit of an art form in itself. All right, we'll just stick with the averages, which we got right there. So I'll catch you next episode.